From the News Channel 5 Network, this is SportsLine.
All right, good evening, Nashville. Welcome to SportsLine on News Channel 5 Plus. I'm Jon Burton with you for the next hour. It's the Wednesday extravaganza, as always. Great to be here on a stormy Wednesday night in the Music City and all over Middle Tennessee. So whatever you're doing, we hope you're safe. And if you do have to venture out tonight, please do be careful. A reminder to download the News Channel 5 Storm Shield app. It tracks, it's free on wherever you download apps for your phone. It's absolutely free. It tracks storms in your area via your GPS, and if there's nothing going on in your area, it will leave you alone. But on a night like this, I would highly suggest you download the News Channel 5 Storm Shield app. And, of course, we've got updates with Bree Smith and Heather Mathis on our Facebook page and, of course, all over social media on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you get your social media information. But do be weather aware on a night like this. All right, we got a very special show for you tonight, backed by popular demand. You wanted it. We give it to you again. It is time once again to spend another evening with our good friend from Outkick 360. And of course, he is our News Channel 5 Sports Titans and NFL analyst. We bring back the great Jonathan Hutton, who joins us now from his beautiful palatial home studio in beautiful Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Jay Hutt, you know Johnny Nashville always gives the people what they want. They want Jonathan Hutton. I bring you to them. Good evening, sir. First of all, what's the weather doing out there in Murfreesboro, Tennessee?
I can hear the thunder going on behind me, and downstairs, Claire is watching Bree and Heather right now. So it must be pretty serious in the borough area. But the Channel 5 gets it done with weather coverage. So we're in good hands here. And time to talk a little sports. Maybe we can do weather and sports, John. I know that's been your dream job.
Oh, we're going to talk it all tonight. We're going to talk weather. We're going to talk sports. We're going to talk professional wrestling. I mean, you know, yeah. I've got a lot on my mind tonight. But first of all, enough about me. Let's talk about you. I understand you and your lovely wife, Claire, who you just mentioned, have a very special weekend planned. Please do tell.
Yes, extremely. So, well, have you heard of Ree Drummond? Does that ring a bell? Do you know who I'm talking about?
I do not believe so.
Okay, I would hope not. So she is the Pioneer Woman. You maybe know that brand.
Yes.
But she has a show on, I don't know, a Food Network or something. And she has a huge ranch. Her and her husband have a huge ranch in Oklahoma, and we're headed there.
Wow.
A gift for Claire. The place books up like a boarding house. There's all kinds of places to eat because she cooks. Yeah, it's quite the deal. It's in Pawhuska, Oklahoma, and let's just say it's not easy to get to. So we have to go through Tulsa and then drive up from Tulsa to get to Pawhuska. So yeah, here we go. Buckle up, John.
Well, I hope Claire realizes what a wonderful and giving husband she has and how lucky she is to have married you, sir. Because, you know, sometimes we have to make these kinds of wonderful things happen for our significant others, right? I wouldn't know, being Mr. Single Guy, but, you know, I understand that's part and parcel to what goes into it, right?
I mean, me doing this is like you juggling 7 girlfriends at one time. I mean, it's the same thing. I would also say that Ree, the woman's name, Pioneer Woman, she's got quite the business going. Like this place books up 6 months in advance.
Wow. And
no joke, by the time I had booked the room over the weekend, refresh the page, this was in January. Everything through June was fully booked.
Wow.
It's insane. I've never seen anything like it. And they don't tell you when they're going to open up the next block of rooms. So I was refreshing the page every morning until randomly it popped on and said it was available, and I scrambled. And by the time I refreshed, it was gone. It's nuts, John.
Wow.
I want to get in that business.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's going to be our next venture. We'll go in on it together. All right, we got plenty of sports to talk about. Plus, my beef continues with Zach Williams on my radio show on WNSR. But give us an update on Outkick 360. How are things going there with you and Chad and Paul?
Great, man. We signed up 3 more stations today. Illinois, Missouri, and Kentucky made official today. We haven't even announced that yet, so there you go.
Oh, breaking news. All right.
Maybe by middle of next month we'll make it officially official. But yeah, we signed it up. So things are great. We love the studio at 6th and Peabody. If you have not been to 6th and Peabody with the distillery and brewery, which is right behind the Music City Center, please do it. Next time you go to a Preds game or whatever, swing by, say hello. We're on 2 to 5 Central, having an absolute blast. The only thing we need is a little positive PK action. We need another appearance soon.
Well, that could very well happen. I think I know where I can find positive PK, and I'll let him know that you guys would like him to return to the show. Hey,
please tell Greg Pogue to call in as positive PK. Yeah, that's what we need.
I will. Hey, you know what just popped into my head? We just had WrestleMania a couple weeks ago, and I know you keep up with wrestling. I thought it was a pretty good show this year, but we should remind people one of the many events coming this summer. I know we've got the NASCAR race, and we'll have another Grand Prix of Nashville and the Indy circuit, of course, and the Cup Series as well. But SummerSlam is coming to Nashville. It's going to be at Nissan Stadium July 30th, and I'm definitely going to do my part to get people excited about it. I've got some contacts over at WWE. Your thoughts on a major WWE pay-per-view, probably the second biggest pay-per-view other than WrestleMania, coming here to Music City. I'm
thrilled. And look, the new stadium that they're going to build, which is a hot topic I'm sure we'll hit this hour, that's going to bring WrestleMania here. I think WWE will be blown away with what Nashville can do and what Nashville can host, because they view those massive stadium shows. They normally take those to the main markets where the Super Bowls are going, and the Super Bowl has never been here. And I think WWE will be blown away with the footprint of Nashville. I think this is a great warm up to what Mania could be in like 2030, let's say, because John, they're going to have a great success, and as long as there's great weather, no one's going to complain. I'm going to be there. I know you will be too.
Yep.
Hitting up all our contacts, trying to get backstage passes. So I'm thrilled. I'm pumped. And this is not an ordinary pay-per-view, which means they'll put everything behind it.
Yeah, all the stars are going to be there. All the big matches are going to be there, because for those that don't follow WWE, usually SummerSlam is kind of where they start to lay out the breadcrumbs for the following year's WrestleMania, right? That's where the storylines begin to slowly take shape for the following year's WrestleMania. I couldn't be more excited about it. And, since we're on the topic of the stadium, Jonathan, why don't we just hit that right now? Because you're right. You build that stadium, and with the way Nashville has grown and with the way so many major events, either in sports or, whatever genre there is, want to come here, it makes sense to build that state-of-the-art retractable stadium so you can get a Final Four here. You can get the NCAA, college football championship game here. You can get a WrestleMania here. You can get a lot of major events, perhaps a Super Bowl down the road. It makes perfect sense for that stadium to be built, and now is the time.
If it's not perhaps, if they build this dome, there will be a Super Bowl in Nashville. The NFL will bring it. And I think that the projection right now, with everything going as planned, is 2026. I think they'd like to have the stadium built and open by the fall of 2026. We touched on this briefly on Sunday Sports Central. And by the way, the rain's coming down, so if my internet breaks out, just call my cell.
Yeah, we'll do.
But the stadium opening in 2026 would put them, in my opinion, on pace for a Super Bowl around 2030 or 2031, because they normally book those out 4 or 5 years early. And if you're trying to look at where WrestleMania would fit into that, Vince McMahon normally tries to get into the new stadium before the Super Bowl. He wants to be the first big event. And so that would be around 2030 or 2031 if you're projecting everything on pace. And the dome is going to happen. The state's going to fund the money with the dome in mind. That means the roof is going to be on the stadium. I call it a dome. Let's call it a roof, because there are multiple ways to pull this off.
Right.
And I think it's happening, John.
Well, listen, we've covered many a Titans game in September when it's still blazingly hot out. The idea of maybe closing that roof and getting the temperature down to about 70 or so wouldn't be a bad thing early in the season, no?
No, I don't hate it. And look, beyond that, college football playoff,
Yep.
national championship, Final Four. I mean, the list goes on and on. And I mean, who knows? The SEC may want to start splitting. Atlanta, close your ears. They may want to split the SEC championship game, which is in and of itself a playoff game. And here's the thing. Here's why the city and the state want to get behind it. Because the hotel rooms are going to be completely booked up, and tax money goes into those hotel rooms to fund a lot of educational platforms and other things.
Right.
The rising tide lifts all ships. And I understand those that say, "Oh, let the billionaires pay for the billionaire stadium." But when you have a state and a team that's willing to go back and forth a bit and meet in the middle, while I understand both sides of this argument, I like getting the stadium done because I'm a sports fan. I don't care who pays for it. I'm going to go to the games.
Right,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? I'm going to go to the big events. I'm going to go to the stadiums. Garth Brooks isn't going to cancel his concert in the middle of a lightning storm and have to postpone stuff moving forward. Like, that's the benefit of having the stadium. And here's the other thing we know, John. That side of the river will completely be revamped. You know, the whole cityscape of that side of the river, with Oracle and Amazon and everything else coming in, who knows how great that could look on the other side of the pedestrian bridge by the time this is all said and done.
No question about it. All right, we're just getting started with Jonathan Hutton. Another evening with Jonathan Hutton as we talk all things sports here in Nashville and beyond. Time for our first break. When we come back, more with Hollywood Hutton. Stay with us here on SportsLine.